Hi everyone, welcome to week 3 of our class. We are almost halfway through. Time flies. Anyhow, I wanted to thank you for your great participation in the week 2 discussion and also for your well thought through assignments. They were really good. You'll notice that if you turn a paper in, if you submit it using a Word document, then I'm able to give you feedback and track changes. Or if you submit it as a PDF, I do it directly in Canvas. So whatever works well for you is fine with me. This week, for week 3, we're going to be having a discussion, a sort of a mini assignment and a regular assignment. So for this week, we're going to be talking about effective and positive communication strategies. You have some information to read and watch. You're going to be reading chapter 8 in your textbook, and you're going to be watching some information about serve and return from Harvard, and also a video by Rita Pearson about every child needing a champion. There's also some information about positive communication and creating classroom rules and activities for differentiated instruction. So you have several videos to, I think there are 5 videos to watch. None of them is very long, and I hope you're able to get some great content from them. So for our discussion this week, we're going to be thinking back to a situation where positive communication strategies, if you had used them, could have led to a different outcome from what actually happened. So you can pick a situation that happened in your classroom or one from your personal life, one from work. And I want you to think of this situation where there wasn't necessarily great positive communication and how it could have been different if you'd used positive communication or the person that you're thinking about had used positive communication. And then think about how you can use the strategies that you're saying would have been helpful in the situation in an early childhood classroom. Excuse me. So that is our week 1 discussion. Also, when you're responding to your classmates, offer your suggestions as well. So as you're looking at their situations and they're talking about how they could have flipped it to being more positive, if you have some other suggestions, make sure that you include them in your response to your classmates. So there's also a Google form that you're going to be required to complete. It is not graded. You get 10 points just for participation. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at some examples of communication and then decide if they're passive communication, assertive communication, or aggressive communication. So hopefully you will have gotten those definitions through your coursework and through your materials, and you'll be able to just fly right through that. And again, it's a 10-point assignment, and the 10 points is for participation. It's really intended to have you think about communication and think about the different kinds of communication. And then our assignment, our regular assignment, is going to be about creating classroom rules. And I know that some of you mentioned in your week 1 assignments when we were talking about constructivism and behaviorism and the maturationist approach, some of you mentioned classroom rules and the importance of classroom rules. So this week, we are going to be looking at a list of negative classroom rules. So in preschool classrooms, it's always a good instructional practice to create rules with the children. Children, most of the times, will phrase them in a negative way. Instead of saying, we take care of our toys or we're kind to our friends, they might say, don't hit other people, don't bite, never throw your toys. So I'm sure you understand that. So I gave you a list of all the don'ts that I've experienced children giving to me as classroom rules. And now I want you to talk about how you could guide the children to turning those into positive classroom rules. And then I want you to boil it down so there are 3 to 5 rules for this classroom. So the point here is that classroom rules should be stated positively. They should be created with children, and there shouldn't be too many of them. 3 to 5 is what I'd suggest. So you have a choice. You can write a brief paper, 2 to 3 pages, or a brief video, 3 to 4 minute video explaining how you would get the children from don'ts to clear positive classroom expectations. If you choose to do a video, make sure you also include a reference page. And if you're doing a regular written paper, just do your usual in-text citations and reference page. And I think just about all of you really have APA nailed. And the only issues I've seen are relatively minor. So this has been a great class for knowing how to handle APA format and understanding in-text citations and references. So again, I encourage you to try doing a video this week if it's something that you feel comfortable in doing. Just make sure it's brief, and then you can do either just a video for this one explaining your situation, or if you choose to do a PowerPoint, that's fine. Just make sure you have a narration that goes with it. So those are our assignments for this week. If you have any questions or problems, or as you're looking at the feedback I've given you on your week 2 assignments and you have questions, feel free to reach out. Take care. Have a wonderful week.